happening, people? It's Y4 Radio. Subscriber sent this to me. I'm going to read this short article, then give you my commentary and breakdown as somebody who's been inside myself. Mean Girls. Ghislane Maxwell hosts checker contest, has a clique of powerful inmates in jail. This is from the New York Post last week. Jeffrey Epstein's convicted madam is well liked by a clique of powerful inmates behind bars in Florida. The 60-year-old socialite turned jailbird has a cushy life at Federal Correction Institute in Tallahassee. Cellmates in her prison wing, Unit B South, nominated Oxford University educated sex trafficker to represent them in an annual checkers tournament. You want the best player? She has a reputation for being smart. An insider said the winning gets a really good meal, chicken wings, pizza, blah, blah, blah. There's her mugshot. Maxwell also works out 6 days a week. Nobody cares what you're in here for so long as you win. Her daily life, this and that. Maxwell, who's serving 20 years. She's been befriended by high-profile prisoners such as Narcy Novick, 65, a Florida woman serving life for the orchestrated murders of her millionaire husband and his mom. She's been reportedly getting close to Linda Morrow, who helped her plastic surgeon's husband scam insurers out of millions. When she first arrived, she was crying a lot, and then she has gained some notoriety. I will pin this in the pin comment and description. I mean, I don't know what to think about this. Shout out to Bradley for sending me this on Instagram. This is pretty disgusting. I'm real disappointed it's here in Florida. Look, male prisons and women prisons are completely different. They run things different, and usually in state and federal prison and a men's facility, it's very gang oriented. I've only interviewed people who have been in women's prisons and watched documentaries and whatnot. It's very like family oriented. They do things like you're my mom, you're my cousin, stuff like that. They have gangs and stuff there too, but it take that all out the mix, because what Epstein did in this, and this was his, like, don't get it twisted, this was his right hand woman, this was his wing woman. Okay, they did atrocious things to minors, girls. Uh, the sale of these girls, these young girls, they destroyed lives. They did disgusting things, unspeakable amount of things to a lot of girls, young women. I don't understand this. I almost look at this and want to believe it's fake news, because inside of prison you have a lot of girls doing time, and they ran the streets. They were really in the streets. They really some of them prostituted before. Some of them sold their bodies. Some of them were forced to sell their bodies. And there is an urn inside of you where you really, really miss your family, and it's a completely different level on kids. And there's a connection between a mother and their children that is unbreakable. It really is. It's unbreakable. And I just don't see this where these women, they know the atrocious thing that you can't say the word, you can't say Jeffrey Epstein around anybody who does who they that's a everybody knows what atrocious things she and he did. I just don't see it. I see it the other way around, where these women would beat the living breaks off of her daily because of what she's done. And especially for the women inside of prison that are there because of some of the same instances, and they've been in there so long that now their daughters are doing some of the same mistakes as they did, and then this monster comes to the door. They can't put their hands on or take control of their daughter's situation out there on the streets because they're serving time. This monster walks to the door and is game on. Now they can put their hands on something. Now they can take their aggression out on something. I almost believe this is a fake news. It's hard to tell. It did come from the New York Post, so take it with a grain of salt. But obviously, this came from a correction officer, and they sold the information to the New York Post. I've done this, seen this firsthand when I was out there protesting. I know how the media works and how they buy stories. I don't know. It really surprises me that this is in Florida, uh, because again, I don't know anything about women's prisons, but Florida is rough. I don't see that. But look, at the same time, the reason that I can believe this is money inside a prison does everything. Okay, people are broke in prison. They're starving. They're starving. They're starving. You know, here's this lady. You know, she's loaded still. She's loaded. Her whole 20 years, she'll be loaded, and she's hanging around other people of real high caliber crimes that are also loaded. So they probably they could have gotten together and they're just like, look, let's just pay for protection and hang out. They have like some common interests with each other. They're all scumbags, but there's like some common like talking points of how they used to live on the streets. Their social class or whatever. I just, man, maybe they just don't care that maybe they're just spending so much money in there that the inmates in there are like it's not even worth it. Why beat her up when she's buying us whatever we need? Like we don't have to contact our families or for anything. And there's real poverty inside of prison. Trust me. There was a person who left a comment on the video I did of AWP when he goes to prison. Because I give a fair explanation here, okay? Both sides of the fence, okay? Usually this will happen, but this will happen, just as we are in this video. And the person got mad. They said, well, that kind of ruins it for me because I thought when they went to prison, all these things happen. I'm giving it to you raw and uncut, okay? I'm sorry. Look, I'm aggravated that this is happening in the Florida prison with this woman. Okay, but I can understand why. Okay, I'm not trying to distract you or I'm not going to tell you something fake. I mean, you have to face with reality. YouTube is good for prison. Okay, without YouTube, if you don't know somebody who's been to prison, done time before, then you don't really know how it goes. You can put on YouTube and really learn about it, but you can't get mad. I'm just breaking it down. We keep it real, we keep it factual, and we keep it honest over here. If you don't like it, then there's plenty of YouTubers that'll lie to you, scam you, and everything else. So just find one. They're everywhere. But hey, this sucks, and we'll have to see. I'll keep you updated. Bradley, I appreciate you. Long time subscriber. Until the next one, y'all, it's Whiteboard.